Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I thank everybody for coming out on this live chat. Around 9:30 p.m. Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. We live and direct from Charlotte, North Carolina. I greet everybody. Hope everybody having a wonderful evening. Of course, I hope everybody had a wonderful day. You know what I mean? My disclaimer is I'm just a brother. I'm just a brother having conversations, a live conversations type of live, where we pick it back over each other, in general. This is not a sermon. I'm not Pastor Harvin. It's just a regular live conversations type of thing. So if anybody got any type of over righteousness, overzealous, listen, leave it at the door or just turn back around, out the door. Simple, you know. So the topic for today is good mothers. Shout out to all the good mothers out there, all the good mothers out there for sure. I know we did a live conversation the other day about good fathers. So we're here to talk about good mothers, and especially those single mothers out there who's really handling the handle, with a kid or kids in general, and to those over righteous people, you got to understand everybody ain't saved, you know, everybody don't have that wisdom and knowledge and understanding like you do, and we was all there at one point, whereas though we was doing the do. You understand that? So just be respectful in general. We know you're supposed to get married and have kids and stuff like that, But we're just here to have a conversation about single mothers, you know, for sure, and sending respect to all the single mothers out there who is really handling the handle because some deadbeat father or some no good father is not really handling their business. Now, if the female is like widowed or baby father died or something like that, that's okay. That's understandable. Death happens in life. She holding down the fort by herself, and it's all good. You sending much respect out to all those to single mothers, just like we did to all the good fathers the other day. All right. Who in the building? Forgive me, forgive me. Let me see who in the building. What up, Naomi Hope? Naomi Hope is in the building. Anthony Brody. Um, Levy. What up, Levy? You got to forgive me, man. I'm trying to merge yourself over to see your comments. What's up, Simply Blessed? Hope all is well. Rebecca is in the building. New York. New, New York in the building. What about those Knicks? What about them Knicks? What about them Nets? Kyrie from Jersey, but he ain't doing his thing. All right. Levy says, good topic. I was just having a conversation with my mother. She's always been a good mother, even when I was too stubborn to admit it. Okay, that's what's up. That's absolutely what's up, man. To single mothers out there like that. And what used to like bother me a lot, although it wasn't none of my business or whatever, is when I'll be outside driving or whatever, and you see the single. Well, I don't. You don't really know if they're single mother, whatever the case may be. But when you see the woman with like two or three kids, pushing a stroller and she got to get on the bus and all that other stuff, it's just like wow, man. I just look at it like wow, you know what I'm saying? Like wow. I mean, certain situations could happen for that situation to happen, but to all those single mothers out there who's struggling, or those good mothers who've been through working two or three jobs and really holding down the fort and really doing the best that they can be. My question to people out there also: can a good mother raise a son to be a man? I believe I seen that question today on Facebook, somewhere on Facebook. So that's my question to the public right now. All right. Okay. Naomi Hope says my son just. Oh, okay. Right. Vine. What up? Aware 75. Fantabulous. Rebecca says, what about the Knicks? Listen, Pat Ewing ain't there. Derek Harper not there no more. And John Starks. What up, Emmett Spears? Hope all is well. The unknown passenger. You says Mama dear. That's what you say, Madeira. He said, was my mother way better than my egg donor. Sorry, but my mother dear was a true champ, and my grandfather was a provider. I thank God for them. Yeah, and in most cases, that's true too. You know, the grandmother is holding down the fort for the mother because I'm not saying your situation was like this, but in a lot of other situations, you know, a mother could be a crackhead, the father could be a crackhead, and whereas though the grandparents got to hold it down, or whereas though the grandmother got to hold it down, you know, and you know, no disrespect to a senior citizen, but they not young no more, you know. So the pressures that a teenager could put one through could really be stressful on them even more, you know. So I really respect all the grandparents, all the grandmothers out there also. Very important. Grandma Nana, very important for sure. Right? You says a good mother. Rebecca says a good mother can, but there's always a void there that only a man could fill. All right, true, true, true. Anthony Brody says, "Hey, bro, I have to commend those mothers that didn't give up on their children when they lost them due to drugs and got their lives back on the right track for sure." I agree with that for sure. You know, because there was a lot of mothers out there that did fall to drugs, especially back in the 80s and the 90s during the crack era and stuff like that. I mean, Rebecca, you from New York, you know, I'm pretty sure you know about Harlem. You know, I'm pretty sure you know about Rich Porter, Alpo, you know, all those guys, Wayne Perry from DC. And, you know, based upon a true story that, you know, was hustlers out there like that. And I mean, the crack era, the heroin era was crazy, you know, and a lot of women got strung out off of drugs in general, you know, but a lot of them also got their life back on track, you know, which is very respectful. All right. Naomi Hope says, I love this topic. Appreciate that. Dawn McClary. What up, Dawn McClary? Hope all is well. You say, yes, I'm a single mom who raised a successful man who was married and an excellent man and a parent to his family. That's what's up. Absolutely. That is what's up. I commend you for that. Dawn McClary for raising a successful man who was married. You know, my mother, you know, my father wasn't in my life too much, you know, so my mother raised me out of Jersey City, New Jersey. We grew up on Stevens Avenue, Fulton Avenue, Orion Avenue, Clerk Street, you know, Corcoran, Neptune. You know, we've been all over the place somewhat in Jersey City, New Jersey, you know, but she was a good parent, you know what I mean? And my father figure, as I always state, was, you know, the coaches, you know, the sport coaches, you know, but I didn't really think about, you know, a father figure in general as a kid. You know, I was too busy having fun playing basketball, football, you know, out there playing tag and all that other stuff. So that wasn't even on my mind to worry about a father figure. You know, I didn't care about that at the time, you know. All right. Emmett Spears, he says, oh, you're talking to Naomi Hope. Rebecca says, I knew of Rich Porter and his crew. And, you know, that right there had been a crazy situation also with that story upon, you know, his, I believe his brother, the little boy, you know, and the uncle. That's a crazy situation. That also I want to talk about family. Can you trust family? That's probably gonna be my next topic next week. Saturday night is gonna be crazy. You know, we'll be doing live on YouTube and Facebook next Saturday. So yeah, that story right there really gonna tie into that as far as like can you trust family? Because look what happened to Rich Porter, you know, and his little brother. You know, people are really in tune with that story. You know, the uncle, he was seemed like he was money hungry, so he kidnapped his own nephew. You know, Rich Porter was a big time drug dealer out of Harlem. You know, so what the uncle did, he wanted money, tried to extort, and he kidnapped his own nephew. You understand? And basically, what they did, they tried to extort Rich Porter by kidnapping the nephew. I believe he cut his finger off, sent it to Rich Porter, and then after the fact, they killed the little boy. You know, it's crazy, unbelievable situation for a mother to go through something like that. Also, when the child is killed or murdered or whatever, put in prison, they feel really distraught and real hurt off of that. So as a mother, to really go through a situation like that, losing your son or losing your daughter to senseless gang violence or senseless street drug business is real crazy. All right. Simply blessed. He says absolutely she can. She must know that she can't play the role of a father. That's the man's role, but be the best mother she can be. Ask God to fill that void in the child from the absence of the father. Okay. Okay. I respect that answer. I definitely respect that answer. All right. Naomi Hope says, shout out to the mothers that taught their kids God first no matter what. That's a good point right there. Good point. A lot of mothers out there, teach their kids to keep God first. Pray at night. A lot of them read the prayer from, I believe, Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 through 13. The Our Father which art in heaven type of prayer. That prayer, which is good. That's absolutely good for all the mothers out there who teach their kids about God, not in a manner of, usurping their authority and stuff like that, but, where there's no father figure around, I guess you got to teach a child a little something, you know what I mean, that don't contradict the word of God, for sure. All right. Beams 2K. What up, Beams 2K? He says, what's good with you? I'm good. I'm chilling, on a Sunday night. Long day, long, productive, busy day. I'm a little, I'm sleepy and all that, but we're keeping it rolling. I decided to come up on here for about an hour, as always, you know. So I'm chilling for the most part. You heard? Fantabulous. You says mothers are multitaskers. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. You says mothers are multitaskers. However, when it comes to raising sons or young men, it requires more assistance. All right, I agree. Sharon Thomas, who says, "Hey, all, I'm a mother that raised two sons. That's very respectful. A mother like you raising two sons, and it's tough out here. It's tough. It's real tough because the moment a child has an opening for like a snake to slither in their door, what I mean? It could be dangerous, like people trying to get the kids, especially men, young boys, into gangs, try to get them to peer pressure to do drugs, cut school, don't worry about the education, try to live like rappers out there, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's definitely great. All right. Naomi Hope says, father or not? Tony Harvin, you're an awesome, amazing brother. Proud of you for sure. Thank you. Appreciate that. Rebecca says, money and blood don't mix. Whew. Wow. Money and blood don't mix. Wow. That's a powerful statement right there. I gotta write that one down. That might be a subtitle right there. Money and blood don't mix. That's a good point right there. What up, Scion? Scion in the building. What up to the south? What's up, Andrew Jackson? What up? What up? Naomi Hope says, my first child passed away. Prayers and blessings unto you and your family for that, for warmth and comfort. All right, it says, but my trials and tribulations, her name was innocent, and that she truly was. Wow. Wow. Right. Okay, Sharon Thompson said, yes, it is. And it wasn't easy. Okay, cool. All right. You said stay strong. I Naomi Hope. Anthony Brody, you says, yes, I believe that a good mother can raise her son and the son have some good men as role models to guide and influence the young men. True. If a mother's around and, she got brothers, uncles, male cousins and stuff like that, they could be good male figures around. That's true. I definitely agree with that for sure. You know, a lot of the young guys, they get into the sports, and that's a good thing to do for a mother to get their sons into sports. Because it could be some good coaches out there that can be a great role model unto them, and even we're gonna say a small pack of male God sent preachers are great role models. Absolutely, especially when you're dealing with spiritual things of that man for sure. All right, Sharon Thomas said, "Amen." All right. Okay. So, yeah, about the single mothers and the good mothers out there, always respect good mothers. Because I'm pretty sure it's a tough task. When us fathers, when we are around our kids, um, I think mothers got more patience, than guys for sure. And that's my question out there. What do y'all think about that? Do a woman have more patience than a man to deal more so with children, like the responsibilities? They want to take them to school. They want to help them with their homework. They want to wash them up. They want to take them to some type of recreational activity. They want to take them to events, and all this other stuff. Like somebody said earlier, a woman want to be or like to be a multitasker, you know. Sion, you says it's got to be hard on a single mother, but children need their fathers. I agree. I agree. But there's fathers out there that don't care. They don't care. They out there making babies. They out there laying the pipe. You know what I'm saying? They out there doing the do. You know what I mean? They laying seaweed in different oceans. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't ready to take care of responsibilities for a child. And it's a sad situation that there are a lot of guys out here who don't want to take care of their kids. They don't want to be around their kids. They really don't want to. All right. Naomi Hope, you says good mothers are like octopuses. We get down, love, teach, play, protect, feed, talk, hold, and pray, and cry when no one sees. Okay. Rebecca, you says it's very tough. It's a very tough task being a single mom. It definitely an everyday challenge. It stretches your patience daily. Okay. Okay. I agree with that based upon my experience, with my mother. I wasn't a wild child or nothing like that. I consider myself as being a good kid, sneaky, but a good kid for sure. I wasn't out there running the streets, like a wild animal and things like that, or let anybody put peer pressure upon me to fall into some gang, do drugs or anything like that. You know what I mean? What up, Al? You says wicked women use their children to live on. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? That's my first time ever hearing something like that. Al said wicked women use their children to live on. Somebody help me out with that, or if this person could really dip and dabble and elaborate what you mean by that. Naomi Hope says nothing is impossible with God Almighty. Excuse me for that one. Whew. Emmett Spears says I've been a husband and dad and supportive father figure to my own three kids and my own sisters and sisters-in-laws kids. Even though I lost my what is that eldest name's sake to medical malpractice brain injury. Wow, it's a deep one right there for sure. Andrew Jackson says my mom have 8 kids and raised us in a 2-bedroom apartment in New Orleans. Wow, man. Wow. Wow. That's gotta take a lot of patience, a lot of mental strength, emotional strength in general. I can't even imagine. Honestly, I can't imagine. I'm gonna be honest. I can't imagine having 8 kids, and I don't. I can't imagine that, and living in a 2-bedroom. You gotta work. You probably gotta work 2 or 3 jobs. And then you probably gotta find a babysitter. In the midst of all that. And then, you gotta wash clothes. You gotta make sure people is getting a proper breakfast, lunch, all this other stuff. Making sure the grades is up to par. Oh man, that's a lot of patience. So that's why I respect good mothers like that out there. A lot of patience to handle that situation like that for sure. Foster says yes, women have more patience. For sure. Rebecca says, I think you say you think Al is referring to government assistance. Well, listen, if a woman is if a woman is opening up her birth canal to have kids just for government assistance, listen, I don't know about that, man. I never heard of nothing like that. I've never heard of nothing like that, even coming up in the hood and stuff like that. It's like, what woman would just want to open her birth canal just to receive uh government assistance? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really don't know. So if you got any type of reference video or any type of reference to let me view or see or whatever, me personally, I just never heard of nothing like that. You know what I mean? If you're talking about like, oh, a woman want to get pregnant just because she want to receive like welfare, she want to receive like what we call in New Jersey, Section 8 or TRA and stuff like that. Are you stating that at Mr. Owl? What up, Armando Sanchez? You says, what if you were cheated out of life, cheated from life from people that you abuse that abuse you, and work labor abuse, harass you, employees and customers, and even in construction, and they do it all over. Hey Armando, I'm trying to understand what you're talking about with that one. I'm trying to understand. I really don't understand that, Armando. We're talking about good mothers here. So what are you trying to say? What is the topic at hand in your statement? What is the topic at hand, and what is your subtopic to that, and what are you exactly trying to say in reference to like employment? You know, Naomi Hope says my mother was on drugs, but she made sure I was on that church van every Wednesday and Sunday. But I was bad. God forgive me, Lord. I mean, I had a grandmother. I'm not saying my mother wasn't there, because she was there, every step of the way. But my grandmother, she would take us to church. I used to love going to church just because we would go to the store after church, and I wanted me some junk food, of course. I wanted me probably some Doritos, some M&Ms and stuff like that. So I appreciate that too for my grandmother taking me to church. When I was like real young. Simply Blessed says, I believe patience is available to everyone equally. I don't think women, not men, have more patience than the other. Some are quick tempered and have short fuses to be raising kids, period. I agree with that. I agree. I definitely agree with that for sure. Amano says, you talking about employment. Al says, meaning they keep children from their, okay. All right. Al, you got a good point. I like that. Al, oh man, this should have been on Facebook. This should have been on Facebook for sure. Al got a good point right there. I like that at Al. I like that because I've seen and I've heard that before. You know, Al says, meaning they keep children from their dads, but play victim like the dad doesn't want to be there. Woo. That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Listen, that's on point right there for sure. On point for sure. You do have some women out there who have children, and the father is on point. He is on point. He's working. He got a career going. He's well groomed, respectable, and stuff like that. But being that father don't want to be with that woman, relationship wise or marriage wise, you know what I mean. She knows she had a good man. She knows she messed up, or they didn't work out, and she don't want him to have or get married to another woman because she knows she missed out on something good. Now she want to act a certain way by keeping the kids away from that man. And we all know that the system, man, you lost halfway once you get into the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? If you're a male, you know what I mean? If you're a black male, whew, that's tough right there. For sure. As I stated the other day, we already as men dealing with a whole lot. So then when you got a woman, as you stated, Al, that's doing the same thing, all that stuff is running parallel to what other people are doing unto the man. You know what I'm saying? Like if a man wants to be in a child's life, You know what I'm saying? And a woman is keeping the children back or using the children as a shield, as you kind of stated, Al, then I'm totally against that. I've seen situations like that. And that's terrible. That's terrible. You understand? That's real terrible. And people like that will reap what they sow. In other words, in hood terms, what goes around comes around. You know what I'm saying? So that type of situation, like you stated, as a woman keeping the children away from a good father, you know what I mean? And then you got all these other deadbeat dads out here that child support ain't even chasing. But yet a good father, as you stated, got to deal with a situation like that, man. That's horrible. How can a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, Al, how can a woman want to keep the children away from the father? A father want to be there for his kids. You know how tough that is in this world today? You know what I mean? So if it's any woman out there, or if you know any woman out there that's doing that, listen, send this link to them. You know what I'm saying? Send this to them for sure. Because they real bitterness in their heart. Real bitterness, got real malice in their heart. We all know that's the work of the devil for sure. That's the work of Satan. But like we all know, what goes around comes around. You understand that? If a woman like that want to have bitterness in her heart, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable for sure. Armando says, so they left me without a car, job, they robbed all this, and the list goes on and on. Armando, are you talking about a woman? That's what you're talking about? You know what I mean? When you're talking about they left you without a car, job, rob you? Armando, I'm still trying to understand what you're talking about, man. Like, are you talking about a woman got you for a car and stuff like that? You know what I mean? What is it that you're really trying to say, Armando? What up, Nollywood? What up, what up, what up, Candy Kennedy? Sion says some mothers hate the father so much that they keep the kids from him. Yep, as we explained that. One fly girl says it's tough being a single mother, especially raising a daughter who is becoming of age. She needs the guidance and knowledge of a male perspective. I keep her in church, but it's hard. Understandable. Understandable. I could really understand. I could, I got daughters and things like that. And whew, I am overprotective for sure. And somebody stated earlier, or in another live, like daughters need their fathers around for sure. And me, I'm like a lion. You know, you know what I mean? I'm like a lion. You understand? So I understand what you're talking about at one fly girl for sure. You know, fantabulous. He says absolutely it is possible. We can do all things in Christ Jesus. The guide, the parenting is in the good book Bible. All right. Sion says, Sion, you got a good point. Yo, that's a good point right here. I'm about to read. You said some of them even hate the kid for looking like the father. You know how immature that is? And there's some women out there like that. It is. They don't like their child because the child resembles a father. Well, who you want the child to resemble? A loaf of bread? You understand? You had a baby with that man, so the kid is going to have some attributes, some features of both of y'all. In some cases, it may have more features of the father. Man, these women out there like that, man, they need to grow up for sure. Grow up. You know what I mean? I don't really know what you're talking about, Armando. Oh no, Armando. But man, you says so. I was always harassed and abused at work. It's called labor abuse, harassment. Hey Armando, you talking about employment? We talking about good mothers here, man. Although we like to switch the topic and whatnot, but I'm still trying to see where did this come about? Whereas though you just come out of nowhere talking about labor harassment. If you're talking about people at your job is harassing you and things like that, listen, my sole advice to you is to get a lawyer, man. Get a lawyer. Get a lawyer that deals with employment, harassment, and things like that. They will have more great resources and information upon law issues when dealing with harassment at work. I don't know if you got a union at your job, but sometimes union handle situations like that. But if you feel you are getting harassed at work, if that's what you're talking about, record them. Get a camera on top of the hat. It's various ways where you could catch people in the act, because you could report them and say this and say that, but where there's no proof, there's no truth. In the courts, it's not what you say, it's what you can prove in the courts. You understand? So that's my advice. Sharon Thompson says, my sonny is through that. Okay. Emmett Spears, he says, try it from a responsible dad's father standpoint perspective. Okay. Simply Blessed says, true love motivates you to take care of your children, motivate them, walk away when they try you. Walk away? Huh? Walk away? What? You says walk away when they try you. What? Walk away from children if they try you? Ah, come on. What? Nah, no way. Not here. You want I can't believe you said that. You says walk away when a child tries you? No way. Listen. Whew. Listen. No way. I don't care who they call. They call 911. Listen, they could call the U.S. Customs for all I care, the FBI. Listen, if a child in my house, you know what I'm saying? My child act up, and you talking about me? Walk away? Oh man. All right. Naomi Hope says, I'm the baby of 13 kids. God have mercy on my mother's soul. She literally passed in my arms, but yet again, my trials and tribulations are my strengths. I thank God she put me on that church, man, for sure. All right. Kennedy, he says, there is a generational curse on some that don't want to work, so they make babies, because there are many community resources that provide public assistance. They get stuck in the system. Okay, I understand now. I understand. You're right. People get stuck on the government assistance. They get comfortable, sitting home. When they get TRA or Section 8, they pay like what, $20 a month on rent. You know what I mean? A nice little apartment. They're getting food stamps, based upon how many kids they got and stuff like that. They finagle the system. They finagle the system. You understand? I know some people out there like that. $20 rent, $30 rent. I'm like, here it is. We hardworking people. Some of us probably working 2 jobs or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Whereas though you got people like that trying to beat the system and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. All right. Armando, you says, yeah, I was upset, but when I reached out to human resources, they ain't no one cared, not even managers. Listen, don't reach out to human resources. Google it. You have to reach out to a lawyer, because human resources managers, they all working together. They all working together. This is why unions was put in place for things like that. You know what I mean? So when I was at a job called J Mac Frozen Foods in Jersey City, New Jersey, shout out to J Mac Frozen Foods in Jersey City, New Jersey, who we delivered frozen foods. We was with a union. I believe it was local 202 out of New York and Rahway, New Jersey. So if something was to transpire as what you're going through, they would fight for us. They had lawyers for us and things like that. They couldn't write us up for just any old thing and stuff like that, or like you say, harassment and things like that. We was ready to pull out the camera phone. We was ready to record these people if they was to act as you're stating like that. So, or if you don't have a union, like as I stated, you gotta look for a lawyer, man. You gotta look for a lawyer, and you gotta have proof of that for sure. So just keep your cool. Try to get as much proof as you can. You know what I mean, to back up what you're saying. All right. Faith Honest. You says, hey brother, is it true that men and women have children to receive government checks? I have listened to the conversation of such. I believe so. I believe so. You know what I mean? But how can two people like that get fall off of government checks? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I don't get. You know, if they want to pay $35 a month for rent, if they want to receive like I don't know, $400-500 in welfare food stamps and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I don't see how and get cheese and milk and eggs and whatever. Listen, I don't see no true career in building an establishment as far as like you want to get a house, you know, you possibly want to have a small business or whatever. You know, you can't do certain things when you so stuck in receiving government assistance. You know what I mean? All right. You're welcome at Al. All right, all right. Okay. Barbara Mosley says all mothers and fathers have a spiritual problem in need of a spiritual heart surgery, resurrection by the Heavenly Father. Okay. Candy Kennedy says, I implore my son's father to spend time with him anytime. We don't need a judge to tell us how to spend our time. That's wonderful right there. You know, that's wonderful. You know, that's wonderful. Good point right there. You know, you say you don't need a judge to determine things. You know, like the person somebody said it earlier. You know, the woman who keeps the children away from the dad. You know, you got women out there who use the court system on people. They want to run to the courts. You know, listen, a child has to turn 18 one day. You know, every beginning has an end, except for God Almighty, of course. But a child has to turn 18 one day. You understand? For sure. So if they want to run to the court system, if they want to put a man on child support, listen, so be it. Who cares? You know what I mean? Listen, who cares? That ain't nothing. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing. For sure. If they want to be like that, then let them be like that. Because the Lord will deal with a person, you know, with a bitter heart like that. You know what I mean? If you got a bitter heart, malice heart within yourself, you're not only being bitter and malice to that baby's to the father of the children, but who knows what other places you're being bitter to, you know, because if you could be bitter towards a child's father like that, Lord knows who other people you're being bitter to, you know. So that's crazy. That's a crazy heart to have in general. Bitterness, malice, hatred, as somebody said earlier, because the children look like the father. That's crazy right there. You know what I mean? So that's the first line of defense of a lot of women. Court. Like to me, it's like, who cares? You know, who cares? When you got the Lord on your side, man, you ain't thinking about that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of cases in these days, also, if the judge see that the man is doing all he is doing to provide for his kids, listen, the woman is wasting her time going to court in general. You know what I mean? Just because of bitterness or whatever, or she may think that taking a man to court is really going to do something to him, going to do something to his character, is going to break him down. No way. You know, when you got God on your side, you know what I'm saying? You don't care if you go into court for that. You know what I mean? That's their bitterness. That's their malice. That's their hatred within the subconscious of their hearts, within the subconscious of their mentals. You know what I'm saying? So don't even worry about that type of stuff, man. Don't even worry about that type of stuff. As long as you, as a father, know that you love your kids, that you building a relationship with your kids, that you know you want to be in your kids' life, and if that woman is keeping you away from those kids or have any type of bitterness and stuff like that, listen, the Lord sees it all. You know, the Lord sees it all. As simple as that. You understand? So to those fellas out there, don't even worry about it, man. You know, it could be tough times and whatnot, but don't even worry about it, man. If you're going through that situation, for sure, man. Don't even worry about that type of stuff. Listen, stay in prayer. Stay in prayer. You know what I mean? As long as you don't identify with First Timothy, I believe chapter 5 and verse 8, you cool, man. It's all good for sure. All right. Sion, you says that's going to backfire on her for keeping the father away because the child will be rebellious later and will resent her. As a person said earlier in reference to that, I can agree. I definitely can agree. I've seen situations like that. I've seen a lot of situations like that for sure. So you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You better be careful. You better be careful if you have a bitter heart like that. That is like, to me, that's crazy. If a person is just walking around with a bitter heart, that's crazy, unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable. What up, Levy? Armando, listen, man. Listen, chill, man. Chill, chill for real, man. We understand all that. I gave you advice. I gave you clear cut advice. You complaining about your job harassment and stuff. I can't do nothing about that. We can't do nothing about that. The best advice for me to give you is to check in to get a lawyer who deals with employee or employment harassment and stuff like that. That's the best advice, and to get the proof. That's it right there. Once you have the proof, you go to your lawyer and stuff like that. He or she know the law better than we do, and just take it from there, for sure. Right? Um, Emmett Spears. Emmett Spears, who says, many of the times my dad, father, and myself sacrifice our own self prosperity, welfare, and for our children, kids, offspring, seed. Okay, cool. What up, Roland Lee? What up, Roland Lee? Patricia Ryan. Okay. Naomi Foster says, I recently heard a social media influencers say that all women are teaming up with the government in some way. I can't agree with that totally. However, some women, not all single women, have done dirty. Well, I don't think all women are teaming up with the government. I don't think that. Not at all. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard, my mother, my grandmother, my kid's mother, or whatever. I haven't heard that. I have not heard, them talking about, they teaming up with the government. That's one thing I haven't heard about that. No way. I definitely haven't heard that. All right. Candy Kennedy says women who use kids as a weapon against their father are usually upset that he has moved on. I agree. I agree with that. As we explained earlier, he could be a good guy. He could be a good guy as far as like providing, a good father and stuff like that, having patience, not losing his cool and stuff like that. Whereas though it's tough to find a guy out here like that with some sense who wants to be there. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough. All right. Um. All right. What up, Lisa Carr? Shout out to Lisa Carr. Candy Kennedy says that's why I prayed for a boy. A Johnson says, "What up, TH? I'm new and my name is AJ. AJ, what up, AJ? AJ, what up? What up? He says, I heard a lot about this chat and I was determined to get involved. You heard a lot about this chat. Where you heard about this chat from? Who told you about this chat, AJ? Who told you about this chat? You know? All right. Naomi, hope you said a loaf of bread. All right. Emmett Spears says, I'm still with my wife, even though she cheated on me twice within our 42 years of marriage. Wow, 42 years, man. 42 years. 42 years. And cheating. That's another topic I want to deal with later on down the road, man. That's much respect right there, man. 42 years, man. 42 years. Wow. Wow. That's some good stuff right there, man. For sure. For sure. All right. Simply Blessed says, I think Armando is using the platform to vent his frustrations. Yo, Armando, listen, I could vent my frustrations about a past job in 2011. Chill out, man. Chill. We giving you advice, man. You gotta calm down. You gotta calm down. Listen, pray, man. Pray about it. Take it out in your prayers. Go to God with that. You know what I'm saying? All we can do as people in here, although we striving for God and stuff like that, we could give you small advice, but your help comes from God. Tony Harvin can't do nothing for your situation. I could pray for you. I could pray for your situations in general, but you, as going through a situation like that, you got to pray for yourself more so and be sincere about the prayer. You know, right? Listen. I never heard of nothing like this before. We here talking about good mothers, man. Good mothers. All right. Um. Yo, you bugging out, Armando? You bugging for sure. What up, Marva Crawford? Candy Kennedy says, not here. G Swole, what up, G Swole? You says, I lost the comment. I lost it. And here we go. G Swole says, will God hold a man allowable if he found out he had a child, not knowing he had a child due to the mother hiding his child away from him? Okay. G Swole. I like that. I like that right there. I like that. You know, that's another good topic right there. Oh man, I gotta write this stuff down for sure. That'd be a good topic right there, G Swole. You says, will a man hold, excuse me, will God hold a man accountable if he found out he had a child, not knowing he had a child due to the mother hiding his child away from him when God sees that as worse as a non-believer? Well, I put a video out with Geno Jennings in reference to something like that, accountability. You know, if a man don't know, you know, how can he be held for something in general? That's like what Gina was saying, you know, in a situation similar to that. If a person don't know something, you know, how can they be accountable for something like that? And if a man don't know that he had a child, you know, with a woman, or the woman is hiding a child, man, that's a crazy situation right there. And it happens. It definitely happens. You know, it definitely happens for sure. If that man have a heart that want to take care of his kids, it's all about the heart also. You know, because some men won't even care. Like, I don't care. You know, she had a 15 years could pass. Oh, she had a kid. She had my kid. I don't care. Whatever. But there are other men out there like, man, why she didn't tell me? I would have been there for my child. I would have took care of my child financially. You know, spent quality time. You know, teach him and train him up the way how a child should be trained. You know, so yeah, man, that's crazy. All right. Naomi Hope says I would try to walk away, but most likely Chappelle. All right. Simply Blessed says, hear me out sometimes. You have to, because you might get arrested by doing something crazy. I've had to walk away and pray like, Lord, help me before I. Well, she's talking about chastisement of the child. Listen, I'm not acting arrogant or anything or whatever, but you know, my children don't do that to me. You know, they don't. You know, I'm sorry. Listen, if that happens, listen, I'll take one. You know, I'll go to the county jail. You know what I mean? Just because I chastised my kid. But guess what? The moment I get out, I'm gonna be on his behind again, for sure. You know what I mean? You're gonna learn today in the house of Tony Harvin, or if he or she is disrespecting the mother, you know, you're gonna learn today for sure, because that ain't happening. You know, we in a time where as though a lot of kids don't get chastised. They could just walk around their parents and say anything. You know, no way. That's not happening. That's not happening. So if Tony Harvin gets locked up for chastising his child the proper way without abusing, or even some kids strike out against their parents. Listen, they ain't happening here. They ain't happening here. Boop, boop, boop. That's it. That's all she wrote. You know what I'm saying? That's all she wrote. Listen, all I'm saying is my children respect me, and that ain't happening. I'm sorry. That's not happening. And if it do happen, Tony Harvin ain't walking away. Listen, we going to go in the backyard and we gonna get it in. Like I tell my two sons, listen, if you feeling froggy, let's go in the backyard and let's handle this like men, for sure. Of course, they gonna get beat up, but if they feeling like they want to do something, they gonna learn today, for sure. I ain't gonna hurt them to the point where as though it's abuse, but they gonna know. They gonna know that daddy lays it down and don't disrespect daddy ever again, ever. but that I have never been in a situation like that. You know what I mean? Whereas though I had to walk away because all it takes is that look. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is that presence. You know what I mean? That they, all right, I can't push it to the point where as though dad is gonna do something. You know what I mean? And when fathers hit, we hit. You know what I mean? The mothers could whoop a kid or whatever, but that ain't real pain right there. That ain't real pain. Nuh-uh. No way. When you want to feel pain, listen, the father will lay it on you when it's really time. The father will give it to the child when it's really time. See, the mother may just snap quick. They always want to hit so fast, but a father waits for that golden opportunity to really lay it down for sure. I'm not talking about abuse or anything, but I'm talking about true chastisement when a kid gets out of line. Listen, I'm sorry, I don't play that, man. I don't play that disrespect. I don't play that talking back. I don't play none of that. You know what I'm saying? I really, really don't. But I'm in the state of North Carolina, so they allow you to chastise your kid. You know what I'm saying? But maybe in other states and stuff like that, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know. They probably don't allow that in like states like Montana or something like that. You know what I mean? So in certain states, they allow you to chastise your kid. So and that's what a lot of these kids is missing, especially a good old butt whooping. See, we used to get beat with switches. We used to get beat with hangers and pans and stuff like that. The teachers used to beat us. The principals used to beat us. You know what I mean? The coaches used to slap us and stuff like that. But these kids, they cry over a little touch. Boom. And they quick to call the police. But you as a child, you talk back to your parents, but when a parent just touch you, you want to go call the police? Oh no. Oh no, because when I get out of the county jail, the next day after bailing myself out, I'm gonna be on you again for sure. All right, for sure. All right, man, Armando. You know what I mean? You spamming, man. Listen, Armando, you can't keep spamming like that, man. You can't. You know what I'm saying? There's certain guidelines you gotta follow. We may be cool or whatever, but everybody gets the same treatment. You can't be spamming like that. You know what I mean? You cannot be doing that. For sure. All right. Um G Swole says, let me revise that question. If a mother hide her child from the father, for the father to not show support for him or her, God hold the father reliable when a deadbeat father is more worse than. Okay, let me reread that at G Swole. You says if a mother hide her child from the father, for the father to not show support for him or her, would God hold the father reliable when a deadbeat father is more worse than? Are you talking about, let's say the father wants to be there for the child, but the mother, I guess, let me give you a scenario. A mother lives in like California, right? And all of a sudden she just move away to like Vermont, on the other side of America, to lose all contact with the father and want to hide the child from him and cut off all communications. Is that what you're talking about at G Swole? Levy says it's a lot of bitter baby mothers out there with some power. Lisa Carr says, Tony, being in security, that documentation and proof is important. If it's not documented proof, it didn't happen. Can't prove what's not documented. Okay. You funny. Rebecca, you says 42 years. 42 years. Yeah. K.A. Men says the chat be popping. The comment went down. Forgive me. With this YouTube. All right. K.A. Men. What's up? Hope all is well. Sheila Davis, long time. Sheila Davis said it's a shame how some parents don't do what's best for the children. For sure. Naomi Hope says Armando gives us the job number. Let me tell them to get you out of there so you will calm down. Listen, Armando, I had to silence Armando for a minute, man. You can't spam on here. You cannot do it. You know, I helped you for your own good because YouTube will probably suspend your account and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you keep spamming like that, for sure. So I had to put you in timeout, and also that kind of messes up, you know, what I got going on over here when people keep spamming or talking nonsense and stuff like that. I gotta silence you because that affects my YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? We got YouTube moderators on here that look at stuff like this, and when they seeing that I'm not handling things like that, you know what I mean? They could put, you know, things on your channel as far as like striking and things like that. So I had to silence him, man, because you was definitely spamming for sure. Nelson says, "What makes a good mother?" That's a good point. That's a good point right there. So all the mothers out there in the chat room, answer that question if you like. Mr. Nelson says, "What makes a good mother?" All right. KMN says his date must have stood him up. You funny, KA man. You referring to Armando. You said his date must have stood him up. Tonight, he is in here attacking everybody. God is watching. Oh, that's funny. Listen, Armando, chill out, man. When the time limit is up, that you will coming back. Chill out, man, for sure. Listen, we cool. I think you from Facebook or whatever, but we cool and everything, but you gotta thumb it down, man. You know what I'm saying? All right. KMN says, I think women need to experience unconditional love to be a nurturing mother, for sure, for sure, for sure. Emmett Spears, he said, I said it before, and I'll say it again. No men should put their hands on a female woman in any form of anger, hostility. Huh. Emmett Spears, I got a question for you. So, what if that man's life is in danger? Because it was a situation with this football player a long time ago. I don't know if you remember. I think he played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm gonna look him up right now. To see if I can find uh, his name. He was a Cincinnati Bengals football player, and I believe his girlfriend killed him. Even was that? It was another football player killed by his girlfriend too. But I'm gonna look him up right now to see if I can find his name. You know what I mean? Let's see right now. All right. Okay, let me see his name. In 2009, his name was Henry. Henry. It was a domestic dispute, and he was in the truck that his girlfriend or his fiance was driving. You know what I mean? And he fell off the truck, so she was deemed as the person who killed him. You know, so in a situations like that, where as though you in a life or death situation, and a woman is trying to kill you, you know what should a man do? You know what I'm saying? If you're in a life-threatening situation where as though a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife is trying to kill you, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What is your advice at Emmett Spears on, you know, you can walk away or whatever, but there are some women out there that will still come to attack you. You know what I'm saying? And still later on play the victim. That happens in general. So I would like to hear what you got to say about that at Emmett Spears. And I think Donovan, who was that? I forgot his name. He played for the I think he played for the Titans, you know. Let's see. Tennessee Titans football player killed. What is his name? I forgot his name. Steve McNair. Steve McNair was also killed by his girlfriend, I believe. You know, Steve McNair. You know what I'm saying? So what do you say about that? All right. One fly girl says, I need prayer to stay strong in this process. My estranged husband moved to a different state, leads fall. I'm raising my girl by myself. He didn't even divorce me. When he left, he really calls our daughter. Wow. Wow, that's some deep stuff like that, you know? AJ says, bro, for yourself, stop acting like Keith Sweat. Yo, he said Keith Sweat. He said, with all that crying and whining, we love you, bro. And we'll keep you in prayer. Absolutely, man. Listen, as a man, you can't be like that, man. You gotta man up and handle that situation, man. I've been through stuff like that. I've been through situations like that, Armando. But you gotta man up, man. Listen, you gotta man up, pray, all that other stuff, man. Get things situated. Listen, if your job is treating you like that, man. There's Indeed.com, there's Career Builder, snag a job, or do it like the old days, how we did it when we was teenagers. We used to go to the mall, go to Burger King and fill out applications. That's not how we used to do it. JC Penney's, McDonald's. We go to the people. Are y'all hiring? Are y'all hiring? Yeah, we hiring. Fill out this application, and we would do that. Find a different job or a different career or whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? K-Man says a good mother has sacrificial qualities and will do what she can to make sure her family is loved and supported. Lisa Carr says a good mother is not out there bopping and popping the clubs and not dressed like a street girl. Rebecca says they're gonna learn, huh? That's right, absolutely, for sure. Holly says a good mother nurtures, protects, provides, loves, and disciplines when necessary. Good mothers spend quality time with their kids. True, true, true. What up, Yesenia? What up, what up, what up? Tam says me, the T, respect is required over here, period. Holly says good mothers set boundaries for the kids. All right. JC1, what up? You says that depends on the age of the child and the size of the child. Some teenagers will rebel or call the cops and keep calling the cops after you come back from jail. Listen, as I stated earlier, a child has to turn 18 one day. They have to turn 18 one day, and if they acting a certain way, listen, on that night, the day before their birthday, and they still acting that way, I will pack their bags. I will help them. Listen, the moment 11:59 hits, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to start picking the bag up until that 12 o'clock hits. Listen, place your bags outside that door. You're 18, you're considered a legal adult, get out my house or get out my place or whatever. Listen, I don't got time for it. You understand? Listen, I know mothers got tender love and all that other stuff. Listen, I'm a firm father. If you act a certain way when you hit 18 years of age, listen, I don't care. If you want to act like that, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. Welcome to the real world. You know what I mean? You was here to the age of 18. We done gave you warnings to get right and kept telling you, listen, it's going to be a time and day when you're going to turn 18 years of age. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a time and day. So if they keep acting up, keep reminding them. There's a time and day when you're going to turn 18 years of age. You know what I mean? And I will be up the day before your birthday at 11:59 with your bags at the door. Simple. You know what I mean? Nelson says, allow me to chastise my kid. Was the government there when me and my wife were making them? That's funny. That's funny. One fly girl says, thank you, Kate. Amen. I will look into legal action. Okay. You're talking to her. For sure. Jesus is God says, block him. Lisa Carr says, one of the problems is the parents compromise and hear far too much. You don't even have to raise your voice. If that child know you mean business, get up and warm that butt when you need it. G Swole says, do you think it's okay for a father to discipline his daughter, or should he just let the mother do that with her? When I see that as domestic violence due to him being a man getting on a girl, listen, I understand what you're saying. So basically what you're saying, is it right for a father to discipline his daughter? Listen, the scriptures don't classify whether male or female, chastise, simple. Listen, I don't care if you're male, female. If you act up, you will get chastised accordingly. They can't play that role like, oh wow, you chastising your daughter. That's almost symbolic to a man hitting her. No, this is what the scriptures say or allows. Chastisement of a child. Doesn't matter if they're male or female. You will get dealt with accordingly. That's me. My daughters, listen, they're gonna get a pluck to the ear. You know, I can't do too much with my hands and stuff like that because of what I do in general. But they do get disciplined accordingly. Pluck to the ear, pow pow to the thigh and stuff like that. I'm not gonna sit here and give them 1-2 or body slam them or body slam them or nothing like that. Just give them a quick pluck to the ear, man. That's what I do. A quick stinger, something to sting them up, and they gonna cry. Like I said, a lot of times I don't gotta do anything, I don't gotta do nothing for sure, But it doesn't matter to me. Daughter, son, you will get chastised. I don't have no ill feelings like, oh wow, that's like a man abusing your daughter. No, it's not. No, it's not. If anything, they're gonna know they father mean business, and if that man don't treat that woman right, he will get dealt with accordingly by that father. You know what I'm saying? For sure. All right. That's a good question though. I like that question. For sure. All right. Let me see. If anybody else I missed, forgive me. Simply blessed. You said so that I'm not sinning as a result of my anger. My kids don't hit me, nor curse me out. Okay, for sure. Okay, that's good. All right. Lisa Carr says yelling parents get nowhere. You're right. Yelling parents don't get nowhere. I mean, me, I yell once in a while. I yell. I yell once in a while. But yelling all day, every day, nah, no way. Listen, I'm gonna pluck you with something, and you gonna feel that sting. Simple as that. I don't got time for all that yelling, wasting all that energy. You know what I mean? If I tell you once, that's a first warning. All right. JC1 says now, Tony, when you get out of jail, if you're in a situation and then you deal with your son and they call the cops again, then what? Like I said, I'm in the state of North Carolina, man, where chastisement is okay. Over here in the state of North Carolina, over here, I don't know about other states. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about other states, but I'm not talking about abusing a child. If I happen to, if any parent happen to whoop a child in the state of North Carolina and they call the cops, they ain't gonna do nothing to you. They ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But in other states that probably state that you can't even whoop the child, you can't do nothing. Then they probably gonna go to jail or something like that. Or like I said, the child is gonna turn 18 one day. So when a child is disrespectful, as a parent, we don't care if we go to jail. If we beat them with a belt or something like that, we don't care. But they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn not to mess with the parent. At the end of the day, they're gonna remember that. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely going to remember that. Like, wow, listen, my parents don't play. You know what I mean? I just can't disrespect them, because if they disrespecting the parents like that, once they get older and get out into them streets, and then they disrespect a trigger happy police officer, guess what's gonna happen to them? You know what I mean? They'll probably get their brains blown out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So if respect is not learned in the house, and then they go out outside and stuff like that, and come across some people and if they don't respect their parents, then how they gonna respect other people out there? There are people out there that will blow your brains out with the quickness. If they don't know how to assess a situation. If they go out with the same attitude, is disrespecting their parents in the same way out there on the street, dealing with a trigger happy police officer, or just a trigger happy person in general, man, they're gonna lose their life. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So it's better to be learned in that house. You know what I'm saying? So you get wisdom and knowledge in reference to respecting in general. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. You funny, simply, but Still Waters. What up, Still Waters? You says good mothers I have observed are attentive, affectionate, and God. For sure. All right. Did I miss anybody? What up, guy named Otis? What up, Mr. Ham? For sure. Jared Sims, what up? Yeah, I'm Easter time right here. Lisa Carr says a good mother is a teacher, the first teacher to her baby. Those seeds planted in them will flourish and they will become hopefully good, productive adults. For sure. What up, bro Joseph? Bro Joseph said greetings. Greetings to you too. All right. Who else is in the building? All right, we're about to conclude this live. Yesenia says, man, they call the cops on me for whooping my son's butt. Wow, that's crazy. All right, we're about to conclude this live. I appreciate everybody for coming on this live for sure. Hope everybody have a wonderful, blessed evening. Do remember to log on to truthofgod.com for those asking about the Holy Scriptures and baptism. Truthofgod.com. Visit my secondary YouTube channel, Tony Harvin Backup Channel. You know, where as though I'm blasting the Truth of God there, blasting the Truth of God on Facebook, Tony Fashions Harvin, definitely blasting the Truth of God there, blasting the Truth of God on rumble.com, dailymotions.com, on Twitter, Instagram, trying to blast the Truth of God as many places as possible. We'll be back with more of these live conversations in general. You know, Lord willing tomorrow. So I'm about to sign off. I hope everybody have a wonderful night, a wonderful sleep if you're over here on the East Coast. So everybody be blessed, enjoy, and peace out.